Welcome back to the podcast for founders by founders. This is the Uncommonality Podcast.
Today we have Runbin Dong with Scale Social AI with us. He is part of the big pitch here at Seed the South Summit, so we really appreciate you taking the time to join us today, sir.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. So Runbin, give us some background and for our audience, who you are and what is Scale Social AI?
Yeah, I started Scale Social AI last year, and I have a background in AI and technology. Started my career with IBM Watson in NLP, made my way into healthcare. How I ended up with Scale Social is I started a mom and pop business with my mom, delivering handmade Chinese dumplings across the
Wow.
Research Triangle area.
I bet you they're amazing.
They're good.
Oh,
He's like, yeah,
my.
man.
I gotta try these. We gotta go to Raleigh.
So this is like under the cover, but we still give out dumplings to investors of ours.
That's how you close.
Oh.
You say, hey, you close this deal?
What about the
Here
recipe?
you go.
Biggest investor gets the recipe. How about that?
So we sold the business eventually. My son was born a year and a half ago, and so my mom's like, you know what, I want to be a grandma.
Yes.
It's much better.
Congrats.
So we eventually sold the business, but we started this company because of all of the pains that we realized just starting a small business is really hard.
Yeah, so talk us through that. What is Scale Social AI for someone that knows nothing?
Yeah, so if you think about it at its core, we allow brands to turn everyday customers who are their biggest fans to begin with anyway, we turn them into best marketers for these brands, right? And so you're really utilizing the power of UGC, user-generated content, really leveraging this at scale. Think about it, almost like crowdsourcing this effort.
So how does that work?
Yeah, so when we partner with a brand, we set up a QR code, we design it for them, it's on brand. All the business owners have to do is to set it up inside their store. So it's very prominent, people see it.
Yeah.
Customers come in, they scan the QR code, they upload content, and it can be a photo or a short form video. And once they do this, the business will actually reward them with a free ice cream or a free drink. So it's very, very straightforward. Now, the magic is we collect that content, we score it through our own AI algorithm, we rank it, we put a lot of metadata around this piece of content. And then on a bi-weekly basis, we generate a short form video based on the highest quality content that we gather. And then that's not yet still, those videos then we place across all digital marketing channels, and those become ads. So imagine you're a customer, you come in, you're scrolling through your Instagram reels, right? You come across these videos, they don't feel like ads at all. In fact, some of our clients have come back to us and they're like, oh my gosh, I just got a new customer who came into the door and they're like, I saw you guys because my neighbor was in your video.
That is actually so simply like witty.
He understands what's going on though. Okay, so explain for everybody who doesn't understand what's going on the
Yes.
idea of influencer marketing, real person marketing in today's day and age with things like AI, ChatGPT, and the way business. All right, go ahead. Explain
That's
the
a
importance to all of this.
Great way to
I get it.
distinguish.
I get it. I
Yeah.
understand.
So influencer marketing is great. We actually work with a lot of local influencers. The problem with influencers is it's a one-time thing.
hmm
You don't usually get the same influencer back every time, right?
Mhm.
And so they're great for like grand openings and stuff, but on a recurring marketing basis, there needs to be a better solution, right? There are a ton of AI marketing companies, startups, well capitalized, well funded, right? They have really good use cases where you generate content using AI, but in the industry that we're in, we're talking about brands that build their entire reputation based on authentic content.
Right.
Having an AI generated burger is probably not the best way to go.
You're right.
Right. And so we sit sort of in this middle happy medium whereby we are able to scale authentic content. We get it from the customers and we're using AI for efficiencies, but we're not generating any AI content.
How'd you come to that conclusion of this is where we should find our niche?
Yeah, lessons learned. We actually, when we launched the solution in April of last year, we were using AI to generate a bunch of stuff. Because of my own AI background, I have a bias there, and very quickly realized that it's not good enough.
What led you? So my dad started off at IBM, right? So yeah, so he started off at IBM, and when you said that, it kind of churned my brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Through your career, right? So you go corporate, then you go to a mom and pop shop with family, right? And then you pivot back into tech.
Yeah.
What was your thought process with that? Why did you even take that route? That's like very zigzag that we like to call, right? So why?
Yeah, I think throughout my career, I've always been on both sides. So corporate to growth stage startup. One of them IPO'd, and so that was sort of my first exit as an early employee. But I've always found this to be extremely dynamic. Like there's so much you learn from the corporate world that can be of significant value to the startup world, and vice versa, right? Now, doing a small business was an entirely different ballgame because you're basically wearing all the hats.
Yeah.
And my primary motivation in starting Mama Chan's Kitchen was my mom was getting bored. She retired and she's a chef and she didn't know what to do. And so we're like, hey, mom, like, why don't we just start a business to keep you busy?
Yeah.
And that was the entire premise. We didn't realize it's how big of a business it could be.
That's incredible. Looking forward into today as to why we're all here for Seed the South. Talk us through what you were feeling before the pitch, while you're on stage, how you feel after the pitch, and any advice you have for someone that will be coming to pitch next year.
I was thoroughly impressed. So it's our first time being at Seed the South. We actually heard about the event through a past winner, Ashleen.
We love Ashlyn.
Yeah,
She was on the
Ashlyn
podcast
with
with
yeah.
Fashionably.
Exactly.
She's
Queen
phenomenal.
Ashlyn.
Queen
Yes,
Ashlyn.
and every time I see her, she's got a new outfit.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Same haircut though. Iconic.
That's right. The same
Iconic.
iconic haircut. Yep.
Consistent. But she joined. So we have the same investor.
Okay.
And so we got to know each other fairly well through that process. And yeah, we heard about the event and coming through, like, this is a really well-run event. And it aggregates a ton of people from this entire region. And overall, I've just been blown away by the amount of connections that we made. I think that's the most valuable part. Like the pitch competition comes second to that.
Walk us through that pitch competition though. So how did you feel going into it, and what might you suggest to somebody who wants to be successful in it next year?
It felt great. We recently pitched towards the NC Idea grant.
Yeah.
That was about a week ago.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the stuff still fresh on our mind. So it was a great format, 5 minutes, right? Whereas NC Idea was 10 minutes. So we had to compress our message a little bit. But in terms of our advice for the pitch competition, it's really just getting home the key messages that you want to deliver, right? I think you can practice as much as you want, but I wouldn't necessarily over-index on having a great and perfect pitch, but rather on connecting with the audience before and after. Like those connections actually go way further than, oh my gosh, I delivered an amazing pitch, right? Because I think we're also in a world where the fundamentals of the business outweigh everything else. So if you have a great business and you're building traction and you have great customers who love you, I honestly do think the pitch can come secondary to that.
Yeah. The product will sell itself.
Exactly.
And then you just got to connect. We've heard that as like a recurring message through all these interviews. Connect with the audience, they want to invest in the person.
Exactly.
Right? Because the product will sell itself when you have a good product. Yeah. And if you don't, then the ball never lies and it'll come out.
Right on.
So looking at a question that we ask all the founders we interview, very on brand with Uncommonality podcast. What is one uncommon practice, belief, or system that you've built over your career that you think someone watching might get some value out of, or that you credit a lot of your success to?
I think the ability to zoom in and roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty and zoom out and maintain sort of a strategic horizon, that's been the most beneficial set of experiences that's helped me a lot. Because it's very difficult, right? When you're in a corporate environment, you tend to maintain a much more higher perspective. You're not able to get your hands dirty, even if you want to.
Yeah.
Right. Execution is sort of left to someone else. And when you're in the weeds, it's very different. Like it's very difficult for you to maintain that attitude, right? And so I think having that myriad of experiences can be extremely valuable. And so for any builder out there, it's really getting your hands dirty. But just being very conscious, taking a day out of every week, right, to sort of take a step back and take inventory on where things are. That's something that I've been very deliberate with. alongside trying to lose the 20 pounds I gained while building this company.
As we all do.
Aren't we all?
Because it's just work, and you don't have time for anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife will tell me, she's like, well, are you Obama?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, you can't be more busy than Obama. He was in great shape.
Oh, now your wife.
can't argue with that.
Yeah, now
That's
your wife
funny.
comparing
No,
you
that's
to
funny. That is
Perez.
really funny. That is really funny. Well, Runbin, that was a great way to end it with some great advice. We really appreciate you coming on and taking the time, obviously, in this big event to come talk to us, and hopefully providing great insights for our community as well.
For sure.
So yeah, we really appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck with your business and with the pitch, and hopefully we can try some of these dumplings sometime.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's been fun.
Thank you
Great.
for your time.
Thank you.